Hello everybody, how's it going? It's me, Crendor, and it's that time of the year again. It's the Crendor yearly update. I always say I'm going to do a few of these throughout the year, and then it ends up just being one in like the summertime. Let's see. But I was watching the last one, so I was like, when did I film the last one? I was like, ah yes, before the occurrences. So here we go. You're probably like, Crendor occurrences. If you don't watch my streams or my videos or anything, you're in for a treat. So last year I was like, dude, I hurt my knee. It sucks, but it is what it is. That's getting older, right? And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna rehab. I'm gonna do the therapy. I'm gonna do all this. I'm gonna get better. And I was doing like physical therapy exercises every day. I was like, dude, I go to the gym all the time, right? I can do this. Well, turns out, if you overdo exercising, that's also bad. And so I've learned. And so I kind of gave myself numerous tendinitises. And that was an experience. So pretty much I became very stiff. I was, it was like a few weeks after my knee stuff. And I don't know, I strained my calf muscle or my tendon, or I did something where I kind of rolled my ankle and just strained something in I'm pretty sure it was my posterior tibial tendon, or, something in that area. It could have been my soleus muscle or something like that. Like they're all kind of connected. So I was just like, oh my God, you know what? This sucks, but maybe it'll get better, right? It'll get better. My knee's gotten better. So I did that, and it did get a little better, but then we went to the Ren Fair. And I remember I was at the Ren Fair. When I was going around, I was like, dude, I'm doing pretty good, right? And then after the Ren Fair, a few hours later, which is what I've learned from tendon stuff, is it's like a delayed effect. So I pretty much had just a bunch of burning in my legs, my quads. Hold on, there's a bee. All right, there we go. It should still be going. I hit the pause button to get the bug away. I didn't even know they added a pause button to this. How long has there been a pause button on the video recording? Listen, I'm getting old, Gandalf. Anyway, so that all happened, and then I was like, dude, what is going on? Like, this sucks. Like, my body just felt like it was breaking. Everything was just really stiff. I couldn't walk as much or do as many things, and it was very demoralizing, right? So then August rolls around, and I was live streaming. I was actually feeling a bit better, and then I tried to like sit in my chair. I tried to like cross my legs in my chair, and I strained my hip flexor, and that kind of just absolutely destroyed my body. Like everything tightened up. It was almost like my muscles were just like, bro, I'm done with this. Like my hips tightened up, my glutes, like everything was just like, and it just, dude, that was so painful. It was just like my muscles were spasming and like so tight that they must have been like compressing the nerves. Dude, that was like some of the worst pain. And it would just be like, you wake up and you're just like, my quads are burning, like everything's burning. And that truly made me like empathetic for people with just any type of like nerve pain or chronic pain or anything, because that was just dude, it sucks the life out of you, especially when you're just like, I just want to be normal, right? I don't want to like go play tennis. I don't want to do anything crazy. I just want to be able to like walk and and do all the stuff that I normally did, right? So that was it was a very low time in my life. And I was just, I was like, surely it'll get better. And the pain did get better. But my legs were still really stiff and really aggravated and everything. And then I tried going to a physical therapist, because I was going to go to my normal physical therapist, but she was like fully booked and my insurance wasn't good and it was expensive. So I was like, I'll try some other guy. And then he was not good. And so essentially he was just making me do too much when my body just needed to calm down. So I was like, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to like do nothing for a while and then let everything calm down. And it did. And I'm going to like get new insurance and see my actual physical therapist, because she's really good. She'll like take her time. She knows all of my ailments. And so I did that. And so in the meantime, I learned about, there's a guy named Keith Barr, who's like a professor at UC Davis. And he has like all these tendon protocols. And he was like, listen, the way you fix tendonitis is like a lot of isometric holds. I mean, listen, if you got any tendon problems, look up Keith Barr, UC Davis. That shit is life-saving. So I was like, at first I was like, it sounds kind of crazy, right? Whatever. But then I was seeing other people recommending it, like new research coming out about tendons and stuff, right? So I was like, okay, you know what, let's try it. So I started doing like resistance band, like you take your foot and you like arch it in and hold it for 30 seconds. And you're not gonna do anything crazy, right? It's just like 30 seconds and then 2 minutes off. And then you do another 30 seconds and do that like 3 or 4 times every day. If it's like really flared up at the start, like every other day, but pretty much. So he explains it really well too and everything. Better than I could ever explain. So I'm not even gonna try. You could just go listen to it if you actually have tendon problems or care. And it actually started feeling better. And I was like, dude, now the problem is he's like, it takes months and months for this to heal. And it's gonna get better after like a few weeks or months and the pain's gonna go away. And you're gonna be like, dude, I feel great. And he's like, it's kind of like antibiotics, right? Where once you start and you feel better and you stop, you have to keep going or the stuff will come back, right? So I was like, all right, get out of here, fuzz. So I did that. And I started doing like isometric squats for my quadriceps, and then all of a sudden, lo and behold, I could start like I could get up off the ground easier, I could squat deeper, I could do all these things that I wasn't able to do, and it was like, I started seeing the results firsthand, and now I'm like, I can't even talk. I'm in my Crendor tendon arc, man. I am now a firm believer in isometric holds. I am like this is my new thing. I had my concussion arc, my gallbladder arc. Now I'm in my tendon arc, right? I had my buff door arc. I am truly I believe in isometric holds. And they're even good for blood pressure. I was reading that they're like really solid for your heart and stuff. I love isometric holds now. So I was getting to the point where like back when I was hurt, I was only walking like 2,000 to 3,000 steps a day. Like it was real low. And then tracking it all on my phone, it was like I started doing like 3,200, 3,400, 3,800, 4,200, right? And then last month I was at like, there were multiple days last month where I was hitting like 7,000, 8,000 steps again, which if you would have told me that last year that I'd be at that, I'd be like, that's insane, right? Because I could barely do anything. My hip mobility improved. I saw my physical therapist again, so she helped me with doing like a lot of different exercises, activating the glutes, which, you know, if you are a nerd person like I am, I'm sure many of you are because you watched World of Warcraft stuff growing up. Sitting a lot makes your glutes weak, and then they turn off, so you kind of have to figure out how to get them active because that kind of stabilizes your hips, working your core, making sure your core is good. So just from doing a lot of this stuff, I've kind of gotten back to the point where it's pretty good again. Oh my god, I accidentally hit the pause button. I don't even remember what I was talking about or where I left off. Now I truly am old, but the moral of the story is isometric holds are fantastic. I'm a firm believer. Tendonitis sucks. And it's been great. Oh yeah, I was ramping up. That's what it was. I was ramping up all my stuff. And I got to the point recently where I started overdoing it, right? I had that thing where I wasn't doing them every day. I was doing them like a couple times a week. I was feeling a lot better, and then I started walking more. I was walking on concrete, which is definitely harder, right? 2,000 steps on concrete's a lot worse for your body than, or more difficult, I should say, than like 2,000 steps at like a gym track or like a rubber floor or on grass or soft surfaces, right? So I kind of overdid it, and now I'm kind of calming down again and starting up my isometrics, but I mean, it's night and day where I used to be, man. So either way, that's my 10-minute Crendor rant about my legs and everything and how that's been going. But aside from that, I'm doing pretty good in terms of, you know, the other aspects of my life. So yeah, I don't know. All right, I paused again because someone was actually walking by. So, dude, that's 3 pauses. The pause button's pretty great. I don't like freaking people out while I like, talk out loud. Although at this point in the world, like everybody's talking to themselves on the phone. It's no. Remember when back in the day, if you talked on your phone to yourself or vlogged, it'd be like you're crazy. But now, like, who's not talking on the phone or making a TikTok or a video or some shit like that, right? Like everybody's doing it. So, either way, what else am I doing? Oh yeah, I've been doing a lot more YouTube. If you go over to the YouTube Crendor, I started full-blown making YouTube videos again. Twitch has been kind of ass. Just like in terms of like the economy sucks. Twitch has just like been all over the place. People are view botting it, like there's less sponsorships on Twitch. Just like streaming in general has become oversaturated. And one thing that all these injuries really made me think about is I enjoy YouTube more just in general, because I think a lot of times with streaming, it's one of those things where you have to show up and be like, even if I'm in pain, if my legs hurt, if everything hurts, and you're just like, what's up guys, here I am today, right? And it's just, I hate having to do that and then, you know, pretend like we're having a great time. Right? But it is cool to like talk to people on Twitch and be like, what's up guys, like hanging out, talk about your experiences, share pains and all that type of stuff. So it's more so that I like Twitch as like my secondary thing. Like I'm not quitting streaming, don't worry. But it's more so I don't want to rely on streaming. Like I don't want to be a streamer, right? How people are just like, are you a streamer? Are you this? Like I'd rather be a YouTuber. I started as a YouTuber, and I think this year made me truly realize that I just enjoy YouTube more. Like that's what it is at the end of the day. I love making videos. Honestly, I watch more YouTube than I do streams. And it's just, you know, it's nice that you can even backload videos if you know you're going to be away on vacation, or you're going to be, you know, busy with something, or maybe you don't feel good, and then, you know, maybe you made a bunch of videos that are like, hey, just in case I don't feel good or something happens, I can put these up, right? It's nice having those options available. So yeah, and then, you know, I have multiple YouTube channels. I got the Crendor VODs channel for if you don't want to watch my streams, but you want to watch like parts of them on YouTube, or, you know, I upload like my Warcraft 3 Let's Plays over there. I've been doing that on Twitch, or various other things I play on Twitch. We have like the Cox and Crendor podcast YouTube channel. I got like my Warhammer channel. Right? And it's nice because I have like so many different channels with categories, and then there's the Almost Too Old for This channel where I react to Jesse reacting to things. And it's nice. Like I love having the categorization of those YouTube channels, and then having the main YouTube channel with WoW stuff. And it's been great. Like WoW, I've obviously been doing Pointless Top 10 for a few years now, but I started making compilations of Pointless Top 10s, because that's been a big thing on YouTube, is just compilations to fall asleep to, right? That's what they always put, so that's what I put. And just doing things like tier lists have been fun, but instead of just being like, what's my favorite WoW zones, right? Boring shit like that. I just did like things like, how long could you live in this WoW zone before you die? Or how long could you survive there? Where would you actually want to live? Or I did like, what classes would I want to be in real life? Or what, you know, things that need to be repaired in WoW. I just made one of like, which WoW races would you want as a neighbor? So just like goofy tier lists like that. And I've been having a lot of fun with those. And then doing things like GeoGuessr and those types of things. So I'm just having a great time on YouTube, man. It's been a lot of fun. And so yeah, I've been doing that, and, you know, still podcasting, still doing all my things. I will say, because of like things being down, the economy, I mean, the economy, what isn't down? You know, I've built up more credit card debt, and, you know, from various medical bills, you know, house repair things, like car repair, buying the new car a few years ago, like it all adds up. I say new car, new used car, but at the used car prices, it may as well be a new car, right? So it's just like, you know, who doesn't have debt at this point in our current economy? So that's another thing where I'm like, hey, you know what? I'd rather, like TB always said, he's like, you need 5 sources of income. So it's one of those things where I'm like, he's right. You know, I shouldn't be putting all my eggs in one basket with streaming, or being like, I hope this thing gets better, or like strictly do it. It's like, I should be doing a little bit of everything, you know, obviously some things can be your main thing, but I think that's what I realized was like, I just want to do YouTube as my main thing, and then, you know, still work on everything else. But yeah, so a lot of realizations there. And it's crazy, TB's been gone for 8 years now, man. Like, that shit's wild. Like, time. Time. What else? Cat's still doing good. He's got some blood tests. I guess his, like, he had, like, it's like soma. It's not soma. So something where it, like, checks for kidney health. That was, like, slightly elevated, so they had to, like, check it again a few months. That was a few months ago, and then they rechecked it last month, and it actually went down a bit, so that was good. So we've been giving him more water and, like, wet food and stuff, because cats can have kidney problems. So do that. Still married to Toaster Woman, going strong. So, you know, listen, she took care of me while I was crippled and barely able to move. And listen, it's funny because, like, most streamers and YouTubers and stuff are always out here just being like, I guess how do I sit in a chair and stop doing things? I'm the opposite. I'm just like, dude, I wish I could go walking right now. I wish I could go do chores. I wish I could clean. I wish I could do all these things, right? And I just, it sucks when you're not able to do it. But, you know, slowly but surely I'm getting back there. And it's been a year. I'll tell you that much, you know? So, there's a lot of YouTubers and streamers out there where, like, you see them one year, they're gone the next. Some get rich and then they disappear. Some are like nobodies and then they grow, and then they're like, they committed like tax fraud. There's like, you know, there's like so many different YouTubers and streamers. Some of them, you know, are like canceled for being douche noodles to other people, assaulting other people. Listen, man, I'm just out here trying to walk normally and get rid of some of my debt and make fun videos and, you know, have nostalgic streams and just rant about stuff. You know what I mean? I'm just out here trying to keep it real, you know? I wish I was rich. I wish I could just pay off debt and not have to worry about money and do all that thing. But, you know, so is everybody else in the world that isn't rich, right? So you just gotta keep going, right? People got problems. Everybody's got their own problems, but it's how you deal with them and keep moving. I was gonna make another MU Online nostalgia video because I forgot about that last year. That was a whole nother story thing, because I was gonna do like some MU Online brand deal thing for one of their newer games, but it sucked, and then I was like, I don't want to do this, and that kind of made me not want to make a nostalgia video last year. So that was that was a thing. But anyway, this has been like 18 minutes. I think I've talked about all the things I need to talk about for the update, but hey, you know what? Take it slow. Do your isometric holds. Eat healthy. You know, you don't gotta go crazy, but, you know, try to just watch what you eat. And yeah. And I'll see, yeah, tell me down in the comment section how you're doing. You struggling with anything? You got a family, you got a new job, you got credit card debt, you got tendonitis, let me know. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Okay? Okay. See ya.